Whoa, 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 stop right there. Are people dropping like flies for your YouTube videos? What if I told you that there is one easy thing that you can add to your videos that will make people stick around and actually watch them? Well, stick around because in today's video, we are talking all about YouTube intros. So right off the bat, what is a YouTube intro? An intro is something that you include at the beginning of your YouTube video, and it helps explain what the video is about. This is a way of orienting the viewer so they know exactly what they're getting themselves into. And this is actually what the majority of YouTubers get totally wrong, and it sets their video up for failure. One of the most common problems that YouTubers have is the dramatic fall of audience retention during the first 30 seconds of their YouTube videos. And the reason why intros are so important is because if you have a great intro, people are going to stick around. People sticking around means that you have longer audience retention. And YouTube likes longer audience retention because that means people are sticking around, they're watching more videos, which means they're seeing more ads, which means that Google or YouTube is making more money. It all comes down to the money.
Money, money, money.
So if the majority of your users are dropping in the intro, that means they're not actually watching the video, and YouTube doesn't like that. As a result, your video isn't going to get promoted as much in search results or in the browse features, which means overall that people aren't going to find your videos that you spent so much time working on. So some common mistakes that I see in YouTube intros are intros that don't actually tell you what the video is going to be about. Instead, the person starts off talking about themselves, introducing themselves. You got the classic,
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel.
Raise your hand if you're guilty of doing this intro. It's because those intros are so common here on YouTube that a lot of people think that that's what they have to do to be successful as well. But the problem with this intro is that it doesn't actually tell us what the video is about. It doesn't get to the point. So it wastes a lot of time at the beginning of your video, and if someone's wanting to get into the meat and potatoes of your video and you started off with that, then they're probably gonna leave. If they've never heard of you before or they don't know who you are and maybe they've never actually been to your channel before, they're gonna say,
Okay, this person's not for me.
Other common mistakes that I see are too long of branding bumpers. You know, those little intro packages that are so fun and they have your name and they have some cool music and some clips. If those are way, way, way too long, people are going to bounce because again, you're not letting them know what the video's about. Instead, you're just promoting yourself. So if you're talking way too much about yourself in the beginning of your videos, that is a no-no. And then right along with this, another common YouTube intro mistake that I see are rambling. Just talking and talking and talking and talking, and you're not actually getting to the point. Ideally, your intro should be anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds long. Anything longer than that, you need to nip it in the bud and get moving with the content. The purpose of the intro is to let people know what they're in for, what they're gonna see, what they're gonna learn, and then to get to it. All right, now it's time for that one thing that you can add to all of your videos that's going to make people stick around and watch your videos. And this magical element is called a hook. What is a hook, you ask? A hook is something that you add to the beginning of your video that hooks or grabs the viewer's attention. If you imagine a hook like a fish hook, once the hook is in the fish, it's very difficult for the fish to get out of it, and that's what we're wanting to do with your intros. The intro is so captivating, it's so memorable, it's so engaging that your viewer doesn't want to go anywhere. They don't want to bounce. So this hook needs to be at the very beginning of your video, and there are a variety of ways that you can do hooks to get people's attention. For example, you can ask a question, you can share a strong statement or fact, you can have a bold statement or declaration, you can bark a command at the viewer, you can ask a what if question, or you can have your video start en media res, which basically what that is you take a very interesting part of your actual video and you put that at the very beginning of your video, sort of like a teaser. It's like you're dangling a very juicy tidbit in front of them, and right before you give it to them, you take it away. So that way they're incentivized to watch the video because they want to know what happens at the end of that clip. These are just a few hook scenarios. There actually are way more, and I go way more in depth teaching how to use each one of these in my signature program called the VidBoss Academy. It teaches you all the steps to start and grow a successful YouTube channel. So if you want to become a hook master, be sure to go to morganstradling.com/waitlist so that way you can be notified as soon as the doors open up again. Then after your hook, it's a good idea to let people know what they're gonna get in this video. You may have actually already done that in the hook, but if you haven't, just quickly recap, hey, in this video, we're gonna talk about this, this, and this, or you're gonna learn this. A lot of great intros are structured in the problem and solution format. So they need to know what is the problem that me as the viewer am struggling with, or I want to know, and then what is the outcome that this video is going to teach me. Now, it doesn't matter whether this is an educational video or a vlog style video, you just need to let people know, hey, this this is what brought you here, and this is what you're gonna find out. These different elements of the intro need to happen very quickly because at this point, your viewer might be getting a little bored and we don't wanna give them that opportunity, so hop into the material. Just by including a hook into your YouTube videos is going to drastically increase your audience retention time. That drop off that most people see at the beginning of their YouTube videos, that is not going to be you. So let me know in the comments which of these hook methods you are going to use in your next video. Bad intros are one of the most common newbie mistakes, and so while you're at it, check out this video where I talk about a few other newbie mistakes that you definitely want to avoid. Are you guilty of doing them? Well, you better check out that video just to make sure. Think of your viewer as a fish and your hook as a fish hook, and if you hook, this is the dumbest analogy. I mean, it's not a dumb analogy, but like this thing. Yeah, okay. No. You really need to move it on over. That's all I got.